My name is Doofy, and today we're going to be reacting to Steve Terryberry's Guitarist Reacts to Top 10 Pop Songs. So we're getting pretty meta. Guitarist reacts to guitarist reacting to top 10 pop songs. I've watched part of this video. I had some thoughts. I thought I could do a pretty interesting video about it. I essentially just want to offer some kind of different perspective. Because, listen, I know his thing's metal, he doesn't like pop music, and that's fine, that's your preference. I myself have preferences like, Midwest emo and post-emo and pop punk. And I don't even love pop music myself, but I definitely have a kind of respect for it, and I kind of want to maybe highlight where I think some of his criticisms are misguided, or at least just offer a foil to what he is saying and maybe give you more to consider. So let's just go through the video.
You want to know what I don't like? Pop music. You know, the same chord progressions, same boots, drum beat.
I want to say immediately that sets the tone for what he's going to be saying of this music. He's essentially going to essentialize all pop music under this stereotypical, it has the boots, cats, drum beat, it has the same, chord progression, and he's therefore going to say it's all uninspired and bad because of it. It's a pretty classic move. You define the limits of this thing, you then just say this thing is bad, and for the sake of convenience, you just put things under that thing to say that it is bad. It's a very awful tactic because it ignores a lot of the uniqueness of the individuals, and it tries to just make it one of this group that you don't like. And so in this way, you can sidestep addressing anything specific about the one song you're listening to and just say, well, it's part of this thing I don't like, therefore it's bad. Awful way to approach anything in life. Always try to address the specific merits of what is in front of you instead of just trying to essentialize. I'm going to get into the more specific things he has to say about the songs as we go through, but I'm just going to say this does set the tone for what we're about to encounter.
All right, Travis Scott and me on Goosebumps.
I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah.
I really like the sound of the synths there. I don't even like Travis Scott that much, but I thought the tone of the actual synths there were cool. I know immediately, just the way that he was reacting to that, he's got an issue with the way that Travis is performing it vocally. It's mumbly. And if that's just something you dislike, that's fine, but let's just see how he approaches that.
I get those goosebumps every time. I need the high.
Yeah, here we go. Come on. Audience participation. Come on.
Oh my god. I'm just gonna try and keep it to the points here, folks. I'm just gonna try and keep it to the points here, but just know I'm fighting for my life to do that.
I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. 713.
Okay, we'll keep building up. That's cool. We can keep building up. I'll join in.
Why they on me, I'm blind, sipping low-key.
So from my understanding, this is a remix of the song. I've never heard the original, let alone the remix. Is this like a house EDM kind of remix? Because typically in hip hop, I feel like the whole drum kit would have kind of come in by now, kick and snare and hi-hat. But instead it's slow progression of different hi-hats, and now you don't get the claps, and then I can only assume it's going to go into a drop or whatever. I don't love that as much, just in terms of preference of music, but I like the sound of the synth. I actually like that, the way the melody works over it. The build-up is exciting, even if it's not my preferred style, I guess. I myself have no crazy complaints here, other than it's just it's a cool song. Not something I'd probably listen to again, but I'm glad I'm listening to it now.
Get those goosebumps every time you come around.
Oh, okay, we're going street club.
Yeah, this house music kind of vibe. I like this actually, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. If this shit came on in the club, I'd be very excited.
This music with such lazy vocals.
Is it lazy vocals? Because I get the sense, and I don't understand anything about Travis Scott's. This is Travis Scott, by the way, right? I don't even remember at this point. But I get the sense that there's a very active effort that goes into creating this specific sound. Obviously, the specific way he's enunciating a lot of the words, it's kind of mumble-esque, and so you would associate that with less energy or effort than say a classically trained singer. But I'm not so sure that it's just lazy. There's still a specific sound in his mind that he wants to achieve, and he does have to work to some extent towards getting that sound. So it's not he's, I could be totally wrong, by the way, and I might be on some copium trying to defend Travis Scott for some whatever reason, but I do get the sense that a lot more work goes into it than I think Mr. Terryberry here is making it out to. And interestingly, I might even say it takes more work than a classically trained singer to perform some crazy runs and belt stuff out, because to them it's more natural. They're more musically trained, they know what to do, they get up there, they do their bit, they might do 1 or 2 takes, and then boom, they're out. With somebody like Travis Scott, who doesn't have as extensive of a background in music, they might have to do that a dozen times to get like the perfect kind of cadence. And the engineers probably have to like get the auto-tune just right to make sure that the melody kind of works with the rhythm. So I reckon there's a lot more that goes into this than what he's making it out to be. And maybe, again, I'm just downplaying fucking classical music to kind of support my biases. Maybe. I don't know. I just want to offer another perspective here. I'm not saying who's right or wrong. I just kind of want to open up the floor a little more.
All right, so we got Bella Porch, build a bit. Oh, build a bitch. Oh.
Damn, this is really a relic from another time. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. It's gonna be okay, boys. Oh, I just want to add though, like I said, he does like that fucking legato shit over like the most basic pop songs, and I'm not sure what his goal is to do there. Is it just to try and make it more interesting, to say like this is what it should be because this is what good music consists in, like shreddy legato licks over gent? Is that like the angle he's taking here? Because if so, I think that actually actively makes the song worse, because it doesn't suit the song. It's just like a swarm of notes that doesn't complement anything that's going on musically. You don't need me to tell you it's out of place. So that makes me think that that's not exactly the angle he's going for. But I just want to say, almost every time he does that, it makes the song sound worse, and I hate it. And I get the impression that his audience thinks that this is somehow making the song better, and that just irritates me also.
All right, so here we go. Okay, let's
Bruh, fucking astronaut in the ocean. Oh, fuck me.
Kind of sounds like Walmart brand Post Malone.
I've never thought of that before, and I kind of agree, actually.
She say that I'm cool. I'm like, yeah, that's
no chorus? Cool.
That was the chorus, my guy. But yeah, I mean, in all fairness, his delivery on that was a little lackluster. Like, he's got to just be doing that for fun, right? To like make this technically within the domain of fair use because he's transforming the content. That's got to be the reason. He doesn't think this sounds better, right? I hope no one thinks this makes it sound better. I mean, maybe people do. I don't think so at all. I think that there's such dissonance between like what he wants to do he wants to just shred on top of like really simple like hip hop beats and relatively simple melodies. It just doesn't work. I'm trying to be charitable here. I'm trying to figure out like what exactly what he's doing here. I mean, I guess he's just showing off that he plays guitar. Cool. That's much more than I'll ever achieve in my lifetime.
Even soloing doesn't sound right.
Okay, that to me was a bit of a self-report moment, because the way that he said that makes me think that he's doing this because he thinks it's making the song sound better. And there he was like, wait, so this is one instance in which it's not making it sound better. So I can now redirect my claim to say more strongly that he is doing this to make the song sound better. In almost every circumstance, it makes it sound worse. I will agree, though, that like a song like that could benefit from more variation in the production. That's why I really like a lot of like Kanye's production. He really takes the idea of like a hip hop beat and makes it more than just like a repeating 8-bar loop with different drums and taking back different parts of it. Like he gives that kind of song structure. He make bridges and like he changed up different parts of the song. I really think that a lot of music could benefit from that kind of thinking as well. But Astronaut in the Ocean definitely fails to do that, unfortunately. So I'm not gonna come to its defense, unfortunately.
Next up, we got Bruno Mars and Andrew Pack and
My
Silk
boys.
Sonic. Who?
No, none of that, sir. None of that, sir. The song is perfectly fine as it is. Please relax.
Like, it's so unpredictable. Pop music is predictable. What's going on?
See, again, this is just like one very evident moment in which his kind of essentializing approach to a lot of this music becomes broken at the seams, because it turns out not all pop music is like he's trying to describe it. I will say, though, actually, his playing there was suiting the music better, and I do want to say it's because he actually likes the song more, so he himself is going out of his way to try and complement it more consciously, I think. Whereas with the other songs, I think he's just trying to drown it out. Again, trying to get a hold on this man, what his approach is here, but
Like that chord change.
hey, can we? Hey, yo, we just not gonna talk about that little fucking bass fill there? She was dope.
Rick Beato, what scale is this?
I like the Rick Beato drop.
I'm not qualified to do this.
Hey, bro, you said it, not me.
I'm really disappointed here. I was really hoping this was gonna be crap, so that I could just like do the whole spend the whole video just like pooping on everything. Like,
I do wonder how true that is, because on the one hand, you can tell he's trying to play into this character to, you know, really get the most engagement and reaction out of the audience. But I do wonder if like he's actively going into this music wanting to find problems with it in order to make content. I wonder if that's genuine or if it's just like the character he's playing into. Because I mean, why would anybody want to dislike something? You know what I mean? I mean, ideally, we would all want to enjoy everything, and we would enjoy everything because that's just more things to like enrich our lives with. So the idea of wanting to dislike something is such a counterintuitive idea, but it does make sense from a content creation perspective, because being able to rag on something is just a gold mine of like content. But I do wonder if just like having been on YouTube for so long that he's genuinely adopted that attitude, which I think is like super toxic and so counterintuitive for the reasons I just mentioned. I would hope that nobody goes into anything wanting to hate it, but I think that he just might actually be there. I mean, it's hard to tell like where Steve Terberry the character begins and the person ends, you know what I mean? Like, where is that line? Is there a line? Am I just projecting that? I don't know.
next up, we got "Levitating" by Dua Lipa and DaBaby.
I actually really like the song. I hate that. Oh my god, I hate that that becomes a critique. The fact that a fucking drum beat is like has been used more than once. I mean, I don't want to hear shit from fucking any community, because every single genre has like a fucking handbasket of like 4 drum beats they just reuse. Like, how many rock songs have like the fucking like the cat with like very subtle variations? How many fucking metal songs just have like fucking blast beats and like, you know, the half times with the fucking crashes and the snares on every, like, you know what I mean? Like, there are just things that are foundational to each genre, and that's totally okay. I don't understand why that's a critique. I think for a lot of these people, the music is like what you can write out on paper. But the beauty of modern pop music is like the time and effort that goes into finding and EQing and just discovering like the perfect kick sample or the perfect snare sample and like EQing it just right. You know what I mean? Like, the sound design is really what's front and center for a lot of new pop music, trying to create that space for the song to kind of live in. Even if on paper, musically, it's a little more simple, that's like 20% of what the song is. Because sure, musically, a lot of these songs are really similar, but like when you listen to like a fucking Pharrell Williams kind of drum sample versus like a Kanye drum sample versus like a fucking Migos drum, like, you know what I mean? Like, these are so different, even if like on paper they're doing the exact same thing. And that's the beauty of like modern pop music. So I mean, I don't know, I hate the critique that, oh, it's a fucking kick on, it's like a 4 on the floor with like a fucking snare on every other beat. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care if it's musically similar to all these other things. It totally misses the point of what's good about pop music. And that's so weird coming from like a metal guitarist, where like you are all so obsessed with getting like the perfect tone for your guitar, and like you're all gearheads, and like where you have like 10 million pedals and like you try a trillion different amps and like a million different guitars and pickups and string combinations to try and get like that perfect sound plus EQ. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like for people that are so invested in like the sound of their guitars, to just overlook the fact that the beauty of pop music is also in that same kind of attitude towards sampling and just getting the EQ and the sounds right on like the drums, regardless of what is actually being played. It's just, I don't know, I feel like there's a disconnect here. They're not fully realizing what pop music has to offer.
All right, next we got Montero, "Call Me By Your Name" by Lil Nas X.
Banger. Oh man, I love Lil Nas X. Have you ever looked at like any of his project files? Those shits are massive. Just truly proof that a lot more goes into what you might suspect out of pop music. Another example, Billie Eilish. If you ever looked at any of her songs, like the breakdown of the vocal tracks is incredible. Like, there could be like 20 tracks. I think like Bad Guy, like 20 vocal tracks or some crazy shit. Like, you would have never guessed that. And just the way that they're put into the mix, it's so subtle, but like it makes a world of difference. And a lot of work goes into getting those like just right. Sorry, I'm trying to beat the allegations that pop music is like easy and anyone can do it. Not even to say he's making those allegations, but that does seem to be the implication of saying that it's all repetitive and it's all the same.
They left me a little spot for soloing. Oh, it's only 2 minutes and 17 seconds long? Wow, I've taken longer pisses.
I think that's also like a kind of critique of modern pop music, but like, I don't know, I like that. Like, I don't know, I don't really like longer songs. Maybe that's just because I'm the fucking product of the ever so shortening attention span of the youth because of things like Vine and then TikTok and Twitter and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you know, whatever, fuck all that. But what can I say? A nice like 3-minute pop punk song, like that's just right. I don't need any more, right? In the words of Dave Grohl, don't bore us, get to the chorus. Give me 3 minutes worth of chorus and I'll be satisfied. I don't need... Listen, it's not the 70s anymore. We don't need a 30-minute like guitar intro solo. You know, it's just unnecessary.
I can't say it's bad per se. It's just not my thing, but it's different. Like it doesn't sound like every other pop song I've ever heard. So I guess I gotta give them that.
Hey, you know, we take that honestly. It's small victories like that we like. We've gotten 2, I think, victories here from Mr. Terry Berry. The Silk Sonic song and now Lil Nas X, so yeah, we take that.
BTS is next, and the song is called Boa.
By the way, can we just talk about, like, even if we want to, like, chastise these melodies for being super simple, the fact that they're so damn catchy. You think just anyone can write, like, the world's catchiest fucking melody like that? No, it's very difficult. Again, if everyone can do it, the pop charts would be changing every hour, right? Like, everyone would have a pop song on the charts. But work goes into coming up with a fucking catchy melody. Like, that's not just something your average layman can do. Respect fucking catchy pop hooks, damn it.
Another one bites the dust.
It actually reminds me more of, what's the big song? Hypnotize? Yeah. Sounds more like that than Another One Bites Dust to me, but again, old heads are gonna project fucking 80s rock songs on everything, so let them have their thing.
I like that, like, Vogue sounding beat.
Right? It's nice.
But typical pop.
Ew. Chill with that last one.
That was way too poppy. Typical drum sound.
Again, I just hate how dismissive that critique is. That's like fucking hearing a jazz song and being like, oh, it's a typical 2-5-1, boys. Just like old jazz music. But like nobody does that, you know what I mean? Like just they've made pop music out to be the bad guy, and so they just take its commonalities as characteristic of something that's bad. But when you have fucking metalcore breakdowns that all fucking sound the same, all fucking 0-1s, those are fine, those are cool, right? Because we like those, so we don't essentialize those. But when pop music has a fucking Boots Cat, suddenly it's bad now. I don't know, boys. Kind of fishy. Double standards. That's all I'm saying.
Next one is Doja Cat, featuring Za. Typical chord progression. I was able to predict it, so bad.
I don't think predictable means bad either. I don't understand when that became a critique. I think the fact that it is predictable is what precisely allows it to become so popular, because it's so intuitive and it really strikes at what we feel on the most intuitive level. You know what I mean? Like that's really the moving force behind a lot of pop music, that it is predictable, and it kind of counts on that for it to kind of catch traction so quickly. I don't know what to say from there. Am I gonna try and convince you that it's therefore more difficult because you have to first find out what's gonna move people and then kind of do it? I don't think so. I mean, I think it's pretty... Music theory has given us the tools to highlight what people will naturally kind of move towards. And you don't even need to be a music theorist. It's like the most natural things that you learn to do when you first pick up a guitar or a piano. But I don't know, like I don't understand why predictability is like necessarily a bad thing. I think it's very much what a lot of people like about pop music. You know what I mean? It feels safe. It's comforting in that way. I really like the bass tone in the song also. Like it's creamy. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the top end's taken off. Like it's just kind of round. It fits like just right in the mix. I don't know. It's little things like that you can really learn to appreciate pop music when you look at it in a more charitable light. Drinking game. Every time he says boots cats, we take a shot. You're wasted within fucking 35 seconds of the video.
It seems like the further we get in the list, the more typical poppy it's sounding.
I don't know why that's surprising to you. I mean, the most popular ones are going to be precisely those that have that intuitive structure that people will reliably engage with. This is, I don't know, it seems like an obvious observation to me.
Good For You by Olivia Rodrigo is the #1 song.
I mean, I always love this song. It's safe. I mean, it's Paramore. I like Paramore. I'm a simple man. I guess my only one issue is always that I always found that the chorus kind of conflicts sonically with the verse. I feel like the tone's too different between the two, and so like I don't like the idea is fine. Like a kind of softer verse and then a more powerful chorus is like the most basic idea in music. But the specific vibe of the verse I feel like doesn't suit the chorus, so there's like a kind of conflict there I always found. But I can rock it to the chorus easily. It's just like a Paramore, bro. I like Paramore.
Was not expecting a change like this.
Isn't that good though? Aren't you the one that likes unpredictability?
I don't agree with that being #1. I'd actually say of all the songs we heard today, that one was the most typical pop.
Really? Maybe. I don't know. So that was the video. I've come to the conclusion that boomers shouldn't listen to pop music, especially if like their approach is always, one, I want it to be bad so I can make content, and two, I'm just going to essentialize it into this, you know, caricature I've made of pop music and say if it meets that, it's bad. And three, totally ignore a lot of the work that goes into crafting that kind of perfect catchy melody, creating the soundscape that really we love in pop music, and just treating it as if the music ends with, you know, what can be written down on paper, even though that is like contradictory to their own understanding of music since they spend so much time and energy working on like guitar tones and like drum sounds. Anyways, it's a whatever video. I disagree almost entirely with his takes. There were some moments I agreed. I probably highlighted those. A few little chuckles here and there, but you know, it is what it is. Thanks for hearing me out on this, folks.